What is up, guys? It is Tony here, and today we're going to be talking about how I get Mario Kart Wii, as you could tell by the background, to run perfectly on a T820 device. So this is the RG556 from Anbernic. If you have a RG406V or H, RG Slide, there's a few different devices that have T820s. This should help a lot to get 1.5, 2x running. And any other device should also benefit from this if it has a Mali GPU, basically, and it's a little bit older, like a T618. So this is the first thing. You're going to want to be using Dolphin MMJR2, first off, but you don't want to use the version that comes with your device. You want to be using this version that ends in 2407. I'm going to link that in the description for you to download. You're going to have to install the APK, which is as simple as when you go to install it, it's going to say like, we didn't install this because it's from an unknown source. You just have to click the arrow and then choose install anyway. And if you already have Dolphin MMJR2 on your device, I recommend deleting it before you install the APK, because it's going to try to like update the APK and fail because it's an older version. And that's the key here. We're using an older version because it runs better with older hardware. It just plain and simple does. That being said, another important thing to keep in mind is that Mario Kart is one of the games on Wii that runs better on OpenGL. So as you saw, I went into custom game settings by holding down on the touchscreen. Custom game settings, graphics, video backend, you want OpenGL. There are a lot of other things you can do to like further optimize it. I don't want this to be a super in-depth video. This is a super simple way to get it running, like I said, 1.5, 2x. Another important thing is you're going to want to disable your Wii remote. All these should be disabled. And you're going to want to enable GameCube input. And when you're setting up your GameCube controls, it's going to be A, B, X, Y, should be pretty obvious. Z is, right bumper on a GameCube controller. Start. Control stick is your left stick. So you just want to configure that. And then your C stick is your right stick. And of course, you can customize these to whatever you like, whatever feels more comfortable. Some people come from the PlayStation being A, basically being on the lower part of your buttons. Triggers, left, right. And then analog, I'm actually not entirely sure what these are supposed to be. I actually always mix these up. But I always because of that, I always just make them the same, because one of these two doesn't really do anything on a GameCube controller. Then you have up, down, left, right on your D-pad. And yeah, GameCube controller works with Wii, or Mario Kart Wii. And a lot of Wii games actually work with the GameCube controller. So on my other videos of other games, I'm often using the GameCube controller input. You can also use Classic controller, which works very similarly, but GameCube's pretty adequate and simple. So here we go. This is pretty much going to be what your experience is, because I didn't do anything else other than what I showed you. You install that version of Dolphin. I'm going to turn this down. You install that version of Dolphin. You go to OpenGL, set up your controls, and this is the experience you're going to be getting. Right now, I'll show you in a second, I do have an upscale going, but I want to show you that you do get some sound glitches on the menus. That is something like a higher power device may not have, but I usually just chalk that up to being, the way ROMs are. You're not going to get a flawless experience, especially for a device that's under $200. But we are at 1.5x, and I find this to be 100% stable, full speed, 60 FPS on every map. So that's why I tend to use 1.5. That's what my demo video on my short was at. Because as you can see, 1.5 looks pretty sharp on a display of this size. I believe we're at like 720p right now, being at a 1.5. So you're not fully using your display at 1080p at this upscale, at least on this device. But I believe, like, in general, most of the devices that use the T820 have a smaller display than this anyway. So you're going to actually get an even sharper experience. There's almost no need to go to 2x. But on this device, there is a small benefit from 2x, and that's when you're up close. Like right now, I'm behind the camera, and I can't tell that this isn't perfectly sharp. But there is some stuff, if you look really close, that has a bit of a shimmer to it in the background. That's all the aliasing going on. So another thing you can do, instead of upgrading your resolution scale to match your display and get rid of that, you can also go into the settings and add anti-aliasing settings to your graphic settings, which is right here, full scene anti-aliasing. So you could do 2x, and we'll see what the performance is with 2x anti-aliasing and 1.5x upscale, which may be the sweet spot for performance, because I'm going to show you in a moment what 2x performs like. Actually, let me just quick load. So I'm noticing the same performance roughly, and I'm going to look closely because it's going to be hard to see on camera. But yeah, a lot of those shimmering edges from the aliasing have gone away. And it ends up making the 720p upscale look really, really good on a 1080p screen. Not hating on that at all. Now let's see the performance. Yeah, it feels about the same. Sounds good, no crackling or anything. So yeah, with the 2x aliasing, I'm not seeing any performance dips, which is nice. It seems like the GPU could handle that. But where it starts to struggle is if I turn off that anti-aliasing hack. Go to default. And then I turn the graphics up to 2x, which I'm going to do once I'm in the game. Let's do the same thing. We'll quick load. And then quick settings. Whoop, wait. So it actually reloaded my settings from before. So I'm gonna, whoop. I'm having a problem where it's thinking the app's crashing, but it's running fine. So I went to 2.5 on accident there at first. But you can see right away, why is it doing that? Never had that happen before. And that's not because the 2x scale. Give me a second. Let me see if I could like close the app because it wants to. That's really odd. And then we'll go back in. Sorry about that, guys. But you already saw that the 2x scale, the audio was crackling. We were definitely running at like 60% speed. So that's the thing about 2x. Sure, you're going to get a much sharper image on this display that actually kind of matches the display's resolution. But unfortunately, you're going to lose a lot of frame time. Oh, what am I doing? Quick load. And that's really the downside to 2x on Mario Kart. So I recommend 1.5x, which performs full speed all the time on every map. And that's one thing to keep in mind. Some of the maps on this game perform worse than others. So you can see this is slow. And listen to the audio. And this is one of the harder maps to run, so it's getting destroyed by it. So you can kind of see how going to 1.5x getting the full speed experience that just feels normal, like you're playing on a Wii. And then adding that 2x filter is quite a nice trick, just to make it feel more like it's the right resolution. It's kind of like upscaling in a way, but it's obviously not upscaling. All it's doing is it's correcting some of the mismatch with the resolution, because that's what causes the aliasing, those jagged edges. So that's definitely what I recommend. Hopefully this helps some people getting Mario Kart Wii to run on their RG556 or any other T820 handheld. If you guys have any other games you guys want to see a video on, go ahead and leave them down below. But that is it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.